Anyway, I consume more than others, perhaps. I apologize for that. Talking about net zero, but I'm still using energy. A very interesting presentation from, especially from Hasama-san and also Manuel. First, my question to Hasama-san. Indeed, very nice design that you had, that you presented today. Realizing that Southeast Asia is a tropical regime, realizing that the problem of the cooling load is not only sensible heat, right? It is somehow latent heat is quite dominant as well. Your presentation showing the potential to mix between the passive and active cooling, which is in the middle of the area, you make it open. My question is how you deal with the latent heat, because I think it's quite dominant, including over there. If you implement those into other areas, especially in the city areas, in other big cities in Southeast Asia, dust and noises is quite dominant as well. So how you introduce your concept into more comfort in regard with the latent heat, noises, and dust? Thank you. And is it okay later on ask Manuel? Okay, that one first. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yes, as you said, the latent heat, dust, and so on is a very, very big problem. But of course, we have to investigate the potential of the outdoor air. For example, in Singapore, we can maybe expect the outdoor air for the intaking and indoor, except for the hot months like May and June. And furthermore, we should also avoid the haze situation. But I think, for example, we can carefully pick up the situation if we can monitor the outdoor situation. For the avoiding such kind of the bad outdoor air, maybe we can, it's okay. But on the other hand, the latent heat is so important. But just in terms of the thermal comfort, for example, the indoor situation is not a big issue because we get enough air movement. It contributes enough removal performance of the heat. But on the other hand, if we introduce a mixed situation, we may suffer how can I say the problem for the mold and so on. But I think, to be honest, this is challenging. But if we introduce the very, very moderate and the sort of coil unit, maybe we can carefully avoid such kind of the problems. But of course, yeah, this is just start point. Yeah, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a second question?
Okay.
Or anyone else? Okay. Thank you, Azama-san. The next question is for Manuel. Sorry. Thank you for your presentation again, Manuel. I do agree with what you did over there. Really looking at the perspective of, as I mentioned in the morning, on the life cycle perspective on the building sectors, which is we need to consider not only the operational phase but also on the material phase, and including construction phase, as well as beyond material production, which is the quarry extraction of the material and so on. Realizing it, understanding the whole concept of life cycle, your presentation is focusing on the 15 to at least 20% of the whole energy, if it's including the operational energy consumption, right? So how you incorporate to reduce energy consumption with your design, looking at on your material design into the whole perspective of including the operational energy consumption. How you deal both? Do you have any explanation on that? Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. I hope I understood it right. Yeah, of course, besides the life cycle perspective, we are also focusing on the actual energy saving perspective with high efficient appliances, with high efficient construction models of the management system of buildings. You had this discussion about digitalization, which is one thing that we are also focusing on nowadays, that we try to optimize the energy saving while operating the building. I hope I answered your question right.
Are you using a digitalization?
Yes, we are also on that. Yeah.
Okay, and then efficient appliances.
Efficient appliances, yes.
Okay. My question is related to the how effective your materials regarding with the thermal load within the buildings. Whether is it better than comparing to the conventional material regarding with the thermal comfort.
I'm sorry, the last part was really unclear. I have a slight delay here in terms of.
So whether your materials is better in comparison with the conventional materials regarding with the thermal comfort.
I mean, so far we have been practicing on that, and as I mentioned, we use a lot of wood constructions for the surface, for the envelope of the buildings, and this is connected with additional insulation materials that comes from sustainable materials that are fully recyclable, and in combination with the wood panels, with the wood constructions, we're having this thermal comfort, so envelope surroundings, as it saves a lot of energy. So we have reduced the energy supply of the buildings in recent months of only 2%, which is part of the energy crisis. But one need to understand that we are having a building stock here in Germany that has already been built. And most buildings here are coming from the 1950s. And this is a long way that we are going to the envelope and really starting to change on that.
Okay. So thank you very much. For the sake of the time scheduling, I'd like to conclude the session.